Welcome inside the Red Earth Production Studios for another edition of YBMcast and our Game 7 tournament wrap-up show with Game 7 Baseball. Game7baseball.com. I keep working on it. I think it's getting better, Dave.
I love it.
As always, we got here with us on this Tuesday, Dave Penning from Game 7 Baseball. Dave, how you doing, man?
Doing great, Brian. Thanks for asking, and as always, thanks for having me on the show.
Absolutely. We had a little rough one this week, right? This past weekend.
That's a good way to put it.
I thought we was going to have to get out the boats on Saturday.
Yeah. Well, the Armed Forces Day Classic here in St. Louis and St. Charles area, it was off to a great start. Friday night was absolutely gorgeous.
And you know,
a storm came.
And that's what's cool. I like the fact you guys are trying to get in on the Friday nights. That's fun again. I think I remember the tournaments being the Friday nights, and that shows, there's a lot of interest still, a lot of teams getting in. You're having to pull up those Friday nights, correct?
Yeah, people want big brackets and a lot of teams, and well, there's only so much field space allotted for on Saturday and Sunday, so I love playing Friday nights.
I think it's cool, man. Get under the lights. Yeah. So you did get Branson because I think the rain kind of got through there, and, you can fight through it. It's turf. So, you can fight through it, and then I guess Sunday was pretty nice. So you got the tournament in down there in Branson, and I think it's interesting seeing the mix of teams. You're getting a lot of those Oklahoma teams coming up there in Branson, aren't you?
Had a nice mix this week in Oklahoma, Arkansas. A lot of teams coming in from that area, and that tournament Mr. Schmidt and I did attend down there, so I'm glad we did. It was no easy task. On Saturday, we did experience not one, not two, not three, but four lightning delays, and it was quite a chore, but everyone was very, very patient and very thankful that we just didn't throw our hands up and say, oh, we're done for the day. We just kept taking it at increments at a time and communicating the best we possibly could, and people were very receptive of it. And I think the last out was made on Saturday night about 10:30 or so.
Yeah. But I love the fact, and you know what you just said right there, everybody was patient. And that's what it takes. Here you are, a tournament director. You don't want to throw your hands up, whatnot, but it does take the patience of the folks. We'll get through it and whatnot. And that's one of the things I appreciate about Game 7 is you guys continue to work until there just is no chance.
That's right. That's right. And we were off to a good start Friday night, and the weather, you're down south of Branson there from Missouri here, or from St. Louis, and the weather was rough. The forecaster, he was right. He was correct. And the storms kept moving in and down there. Friday night, we even dodged some rain and were able to get the 2 time slots in on Friday night. And on Saturday, we had an 8 a.m. start. And as soon as the guys were ready to take the field for the first pitch, it unleashed. So therefore, that was delay number 1. And down there, like you alluded to, Ballparks of America, beautiful complex, 100% turf, which helps. So, you got to be patient and wait the storms out because, once it stops, well, here, what I'm going to bring up here is I think every park should look into. I don't want to go spending other people's money, but whatever they did spend on this device is 100% worth the money. They have a lightning tracker device that goes off. It's piped directly into the National Radar System, weather system there on the campus. And it takes all the guesswork out of everything. Just because it stopped raining doesn't mean it's safe to return back to the field of play. And that's our biggest fear, Brian, is, safety is in the forefront of everything here. Just because it did stop raining, there is lightning in the area, and they have a siren or horn that goes off, if you will, one constant siren for about 5 seconds or so means remove yourself from the field. And then when we get the all clear, it's three consecutive beeps and alerts everyone that it's clear to go back on the field. Everyone meaning umpires, players, coaches, fans. So unfortunately, that thing went off four times. However, it was it was very helpful in regards to our communication. It was a communication piece for the weekend, and it allowed us to, move times back when needed and not touch the times when needed too. So sometimes it was like a 20-minute, 30-minute delay. Others were unfortunately 2-hour delays. But all in all, people were very, very receptive of us, jostling the schedule around, and we completed it in its entirety. Although the forecast didn't, look like it was going to allow us to do so, we got her done.
That's awesome. I love that. And as a parent, I'm in Branson. If I've traveled there and whatnot, I'm with you. I'm going to support the tournament director because that's why we came. We came to play. And I remember back in the day, we drove down to South Haven, Mississippi. This is way back, been a few years. We drive down there, we get there, and there's rain in the forecast, there's this, that. So there was some delays. So we, as a team, went and saw a movie. We come out of the movie, and there'd been a tornado.
Oh.
We didn't know. We didn't hear the sirens or anything like that. So they'd canceled the tournament. We drove back to the hotel, got our stuff, and left. It's tough. That happens. So I appreciate it as a parent, as a coach, as somebody that's been through those, that, when I hear a tournament director talking about, we're going to use the tools, we're going to use these things to create the best case scenario to really finish the tournament. That's what you want as a participant.
Yeah. Not only were the teams very, receptive and appreciative of that, Dave and Game 7 Baseball would like to stress, too, as we alluded to in our award ceremonies at every one of them, the umpires, man, they get paid by the game. They do not get paid by the hour. And they hung right there with us, the whole entire day. It was frustrating for them as well. But you know what? They stuck around and did their job and finished out the day, along with the staff at Ballparks of America. I'm sure that they were scheduled to get off at 4 or 5 hours earlier, but you know what? They kept everything open, and the restaurants and the concession stands and the bathrooms and everything, they kept open, and they hung right there with us as well. So thanks to all those members, because like I said, there's a lot of things that go on behind the scenes of a tournament to put one on prior to it, while it's going on, and afterwards. And, I just would like to say thank you to those umpires and staff members at Ballparks of America for hanging in those 4 delays with us.
And to that point, I've heard a lot of people talk very well about your umpires this season. The guys doing a great job. And, when we've been out on the field, when we've been out with the cameras and whatnot, these guys they're enjoying what they're doing. They're very talkative. They got a smile on their face. There's not a negativity around them. And I think it's showing within the whole scope of what Game 7 baseball is doing. So I think it starts at the top. Everything starts at the top, Dave, and the things that you guys have talked about and that's one of the reasons why I like having you on, coming on the show, talking about these things. I think it gives people a sense of how you guys are operating as a company and how that permeates through. And I think it's coming through with the umpires. The guys are there. They're doing a great job. They feel good about what they're doing. They know they've got a company behind them that's working and helping them as much as you guys are helping the customer, basically, the teams coming to play. So I love that. I love the attitude of it, man.
Yeah, it goes a long way. I mean, that's we care about our people and the people who work for us and all of our customers. And it's not easy, but hopefully it's reciprocated out there, and it shows by the product that we put out there on and off the field.
Absolutely. Let's talk a little bit about some champions down there in Branson. What do you say?
Yeah, we actually had two events down there: the 9U Elite, and
Yes.
then also the Spring Championship.
So let's start with the spring championship. We have the 10U, the Spikes baseball. That's Oklahoma, isn't it? I believe
Oklahoma, correct, sir. That is Oklahoma.
they've been in a few and done very well. This 10U team, from what if I remember correctly, and what we've seen out of Pato, I guess Pato.
Actually, this team that was the first time with us. The
Okay,
Spikes organization, but there have been several from the Oklahoma State that have traveled to Branson and participated in Game 7 events. But this particular Spikes team was the first go around with Game 7. They did very well, 5-0, as you can see.
yeah, and they beat a NBC team there from Springfield, Missouri. Um, I'm not quite sure what NBC stands for. Do you know?
Nixa Baseball Club. They're out of Nixa, Missouri. They did extremely well. Look at their record in pool play. They did not give up a run in pool play, Brian.
Oh my
That's hard to do.
goodness!
Yeah,
At 10U.
yeah, and they're somewhat of a deemed a quote unquote almost local team there to Branson, so they fared very well.
Absolutely. You had
Yeah, they've been
14.
with us before. And actually they're gonna. I think that's their second event with Game 7 down there in Branson, and they're also going to join us in June for our event at the Rexplex. So, Coach is a great guy there. I think it's Coach Hesh. I don't want to
Yes.
butcher the
Yeah.
name, but good guy. Good coaching staff there with him, and it shows on the field. The little 10-year-old guys were out there giving it their all in the championship game, and it's all archived on Game7Baseball.com. You can see all the records. They did a great job through pool play. Came up a little short in the championship game, but the Oklahoma Spikes team, 5-0.
Yeah. It was a good championship game. Spikes beat NBC 6-2. So good solid championship game at the 10U. That's a great bracket right there. Let's talk a little 11U. At the top of that, again, as you allude to, and we've been looking at this. I know Mitch brings it up when he's around. The runs against Southeast Missouri Thunder. I believe that's another Springfield team, if I'm not mistaken. I'm going to take a check. No, Poplar Bluff. They're out of Poplar Bluff, Missouri. Allowed 3 runs in pool play. That's 2 games. That's pretty good. And then ended up in the championship game. The top 2 seeds came out of that one, Southeast Missouri Thunder. And then the Crushers, that's a Springfield, Missouri team. Ended up in championship, and 6-5 ball game in the championship, Dave. That's good.
Yeah, Crushers, a local team there. Some local flavor. Did outstanding. Look at those numbers there. That was a tough bracket. They're really good teams in the 11U this weekend, and they came out like you said. Number 1, and number 2 seeds beating the championship game, and yeah, Crushers had a great weekend, and so did the Thunder, SEMO Thunder. Look at that right there.
Yes, they did. 6-5, and that's undefeated through the bracket. And they in the semifinal they beat the St. Louis Naturals 8-1. I want to bring this up. I'm going to look at this. I think it's very curious, and I was looking at some of these scores over the last since you guys have been doing the Branson stuff, and a lot of those Southeast or Southwest Missouri teams, they seem to be beating the club teams that are coming down from St. Louis over there on a little more regular basis. And it's curious to me that we may not see the dilution of the talent pool as much in Springfield as we've seen maybe up in St. Louis. That's just a thought.
Well, I think that's a combination of just because they don't have the big club brand behind them. I think I think that there's some club ties to those teams because there's some extremely good talent there, and there's depth, and that's just not just the meat of the order. There's depth there, so they're pulling from some different directions there too.
Yeah, there's some really good baseball in Southwest Missouri. Really good baseball. 13U, Southwest Missouri Wolves, again, another one, did not allow a run in pool play. The Southern Illinois Legends only allowed 4. I mean, you had a tough bracket. That 13U was, my goodness, up and down. Southern Illinois, Southwest Missouri Bears only allowed 5 runs, went 1-1. Missouri Bulls were down there from over in Cape Girardeau area. They were 1-1. So another great bracket. And when you got into Sunday, Southern Illinois Legends won 5-4, a 4-2 ball game in those quarters. The semifinals, the Southwest Missouri Wolves beat the Missouri Bulls 7-0. The Legends beat the Sticks 8-2, and then you had another great championship game between those two. Southwest Missouri Wolves coming out on top of the SI Legends 7-6.
Yeah, good championship game there on St. Louis Field to wind down that division. Really good championship game.
I love the diversity in where a lot of these teams are coming from down there, Dave. It's really, I mean, you're pulling from so many different areas. I love the flavor of that.
Yeah, it's a good combination. Number one, the complex. You're not going to find a better complex. 100% turf. Plus, the talent and the mixture of talent and the diversity, like you said, of the teams that are coming from all over. It's a nice venue. Very nice venue. Wish we had more, but that's our last one for 2022 down there. That's number 5 of 5. So,
hey, it was really good. It was really good. Take that, that was some good stuff. And let's look at that Elite Trilogy Turf Series you had down there, 9U. It was open. You had 6 teams. The BBA Titans were 2-0, only allowed 1 run. A 9U team in 2 games only giving up 1 run is pretty impressive.
Yeah.
The ASA A's, Clearwater, Kansas. AASA A's.
Yeah.
Okay. Out of Clearwater, Kansas. St. Louis Clutch Baseball was down there. Corey Carricker's squad. Midwest Mavericks there from Springfield. Midwest, I think that's Marucci Midwest Prime out of Tulsa, Oklahoma. And then the Midwest Rebels. I think that's from up here in St. Charles County. It is.
Yes.
We're all down there competing. Etherton squad. Had a good bracket there. 11-6 in the first 2 brackets. Clutch beating the Midwest Rebels 6-5. Semifinals were both close. 4-1 ball game. Midwest Prime beat the BBA Titans 4-1. And the Clutch came out on top of the AASA A's 6-3. And then a 6-3 ball game in the championship. The Prime team coming up over St. Louis Clutch Baseball. That was really good too, Dave.
Yeah, that semifinal game between the A's and the Clutch went extra innings. So.
Oh wow! Wow!
And that bracket right there, 9U, even Friday through Sunday, I think they had 6 different umpires, and all 6 were like very, very, very impressed at the level of play for 9U that was. So 6 very good ball clubs in that 9U division over the weekend. Like I said, they were really impressed with him, and so were Dave and I. Some of the plays that they made were just phenomenal. The plays in the field, I mean, you just don't see that every day at a weekend tournament. There were some outstanding plays made by that 9U division group.
That's awesome. I love to hear that because that's bodes well for the next few years, watching good competitive baseball. Coming into these tournaments, you're going to see that for some years to come. I love that.
Yes, sir.
I love that. Dave Penning, we're going to get you out of here, bud, because we know you're a busy man and got things to do, people to see, places to go.
Thanks, Brian. I appreciate having me on the show. And this weekend is a holiday weekend. Happy Memorial Day. Everyone have a safe and happy Memorial Day weekend. And Brian, once again, thanks for having me on the show.
As always, Dave Penning from Game 7 Baseball. Look, everybody, thanks for tuning in, joining us. Go to follow him on Facebook. Dave Schmidt is putting up some great photos from the weekend. He's got a lot of great pictures up there. If you're not following Game 7 Baseball, follow him on Facebook at Game 7 Baseball. Follow him on Instagram, Twitter at Game 7 Tournaments. Great stuff. Make sure you follow him. All you pitchers, keep throwing strikes, and you hitters, hit them where they ain't. And we will see you next time.